Well, this is a little extra tidbit that I wanted to pass along. You know, now we have the two cabinets. This one here on the left, and then of course there would be one on the right. And this is where we get our 13.5-inch opening. But if we were to use the same cabinet and you wanted to gain access to more of the cabinet without having to use more plywood, then what you would do is you would use the same thing, but you would cut it farther back from the front, so that there's your two 2-inch stiles. There's your right hand 2-inch stile. There's your left hand 2-inch stile. And then if you come across, see what we've done, we've cut this back 5 inches. We gain the opening of 23 inches, which means you can gain this much area over here if you want to use it as just a cabinet. And then we're still 24 inches to the back. But now here's the drawback. You increase the distance between the two cabinets. So instead of being approximately 18 inches from one to the other, you've increased it to 28 inches, which means, okay, back to what I was just saying, now we've increased it approximately 27-28 inches. So, and then you lose this much space that you're going to lose in the back because you're cutting. This all has to do with mathematical stuff, because you're cutting it and making the cabinet shorter, just like if you were going to cut this side cabinet down across here, then you would lose this much area in the back. So there again, you gain but you lose. In other words, you gain this extra room, but you lose by having to either take a cabinet out or cut one down on both sides. You'd have to take a cabinet on both sides. You'd either have to take one out or you'd have to cut it down. So in other words, you would lose this much. Well, you have to slide the cabinets down this much, however much that is. That's about 7 inches. So that's basically what we have. And of course, the next thing is that in order to stabilize this cabinet, these two end cabinets on each side would have to be well fixed to the wall, because this cabinet is going to have to be screwed into it, because we're so far back away from the wall that we can't get anything in there. Still got to have something here to support the back edge, especially back over there in that corner where it can drop down, because you can see how far back away we are from the two corners. But the good drawback to it is that you do gain a large amount of area with your cabinet. The one thing I was going to mention also that I didn't get to on the last shoot was that you could put a Lazy Susan in there. You could put one, I mean, you can put one with a door. It'd have to be a special one where the door goes in, but those things are always a pain. So it'd be better if you just had a a door that would swing open, and then you could just swing your Lazy Susan around. And you can gain a lot of room that way, because you can get the so-called big Lazy Susan in there, the big 24-incher, and it doesn't look very big until you get it and put it in there, because it takes up everything from the front to the back, because it has to set back from the front about 1 inch, and that would give you quite a bit of room in there. Okay, now for the Lazy Susan. See, this is what you can do, so you can see how far back that thing goes. Of course, this is for an L-shaped corner cabinet, but that's beside the point of what we're dealing with now. You can see how much it wraps over there and takes up, catches almost the whole thing, so all you got is just that little bitty corner over there. And you can really, and these come in stackable. You get 2 of them. You get one for the bottom, and then of course you get one for the middle, and then you can really load a lot of stuff in there. So, and this is one of those big 24-inchers. This is the biggest one they make. Well, this is what I was going to show you about the pie cut Lazy Susan, where if you have, now this is where you can build 2 different cabinets that are not angled like the one we just got through. So you have one cabinet here, then you have your other cabinet here, which means you can do a shorter side on one side and then a longer side on another side if you have a problem with trying to get all your cabinets in there. And with this, then you can mount your doors. You can either mount your doors on the Lazy Susan, or you can have them open up and then fold back. And then as you turn this thing, see, here's the inside of your cabinet right here, but as you turn it, it brings everything to the outside of the cabinet, which is a big plus, so you don't have to reach back up in there. And then it swings back around, and then it's got a little detent in there where it stops down inside it, so that it goes back around to the same area, so it doesn't turn. It goes back to, you know, its position. But that's just another thing that you might want to consider in case you have cabinets you can't get enough room on each side to put in a corner cabinet. And of course you got the same problem with this one as you do with the other corner cabinet, is that you're going to have some areas you can't get to back there that'll be behind your Lazy Susan on each side that you can't reach. But really you can get a lot of stuff on those Lazy Susans, so that might be another option.